before we get into the lesson this week, we need your help. Hi, I'm your Xtreme Kidz host, Jeffrey. We are looking for 10 people right now to serve on our Xtreme Kidz studio team in productions, scripts, editors, and as hosts. Remember, you can serve at any age from anywhere. So say yes!
Hey everyone, it's your Xtreme Kidz host.
I'm Jeffrey.
And I'm Miss Kelly.
And I'm Reagan. Hey everyone, are you ready for another fun day of road rules?
We're here to find out how we can ride with respect.
That's something we need to do on the road and in life.
So, what is respect?
Respect is showing others they're important by what you say and do.
God made us to show respect. We can show others that they're important and valuable with the words we say and the way we treat them.
There are a lot of ways we can do that, of course. One of our best ways you can show respect is by listening.
You can respect a friend by giving them your attention and asking about what's going on in their life.
You can respect a teacher at school or your leaders here in Xtreme Kidz by listening to what they have to say and following their instructions.
It's time to show some love and respect to our God by singing and worshiping. Everyone on your feet.
You love me like a friend and help me through. So I will worship you in all I do. So I live my life to show that I know you're everything to me. You're everything to me. You're everything to me. So I live my life to show that I know you're everything to me. You taught us a brand new way to follow you in what we do and say. Jesus, you are for us. Help us be more like you every day. Jesus, I thank you. I just want to sing. You're all that I need. You say that I mean so much to you. You love me like a friend and help me through. So I will worship you in all I do. So I live my life to show that I know you're everything to me. You're everything to me. You're everything to me. So I live my life to show that I know you're everything to me. I'm gonna lift my voice to you. Jesus, you make me sing. I'm gonna live my life for you. You're everything to me. I'm gonna lift my voice to you. Jesus, you make me sing. I'm gonna live my life for you. You're everything to me. You say that I mean so much to you. You love me like a friend and help me through. So I will worship you in all I do. So I live my life to show that I know. You say that I mean so much to you. You love me like a friend and help me through. So I will worship you in all I do. So I live my life to show that I know you're everything to me. You're everything to me. You're everything to me.
today's Bible story also has to do with listening. Let's listen to the story about two sisters.
The story before the story.
Today we're in Luke, the third book in the New Testament. But before Luke, in the very beginning, out of a deep, deep love, God made an amazing world. But when people turned away from God, the world was broken.
God made a plan to draw people back into relationship. So, at the right time, God sent a tiny baby to be born in the small town of Bethlehem, God's very own son, Jesus.
When Jesus grew up, he began to travel from town to town, teaching and healing, which is where our story starts.
Take it away.
Hey everyone, you can call me Brian.
Hey, Brian.
One day, as Jesus was walking with his disciples, he arrived in the town of Bethany, where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. Martha and her sister Mary and brother Lazarus were close friends and followers of Jesus. They knew what an honor it was for him to visit their home.
Jesus, you sit right here. I know you must be starving after such a long day. Dinner will be ready soon, but here are some raisins and figs, and Mary just brought cool water from the well. Let me know if you need anything at all.
It was common for men to sit at the feet of Jewish rabbis and learn from them, so Lazarus and the other men crowded around to hear Jesus speak, while Martha and Mary worked to prepare a meal for Jesus. Martha must have put every ounce of energy into cooking the best food possible. But after a while, Mary left the kitchen to come and sit down at Jesus' feet just like the men. Now, as the afternoon wore on, Martha kicked into high gear. Boy, she chopped, she roasted, she basted, she baked, she cleaned, and she decorated, flying from one task to the next. And as the temperature in the kitchen, grew warmer, so did Martha's temper. I mean, Mary was over there with Jesus doing nothing, while Martha was left to handle the entire meal on her own. Martha probably felt overwhelmed and annoyed. And at last, she couldn't keep quiet anymore.
Does she think dinner is just going to magically appear on the table? Lord.
Everything got quiet. Everyone stared at Martha.
My sister left me to do the work by myself. Don't you care? Tell her to help me.
Everyone waited to see what would happen. Would Jesus be angry with Martha for interrupting? Or would he tell Mary to give up her spot at his feet and go to the kitchen? Instead, Jesus looked at Martha with deep compassion in his eyes. Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed. Really, only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. Jesus wasn't angry with Martha for working hard to make a meal for him. It was important work that had to be done. But Martha had gotten distracted from the most important way of showing love to Jesus, through her time and attention.
So, what did Martha do?
Well, we don't actually know how Martha responded. Maybe she did sit down for a while to listen to Jesus, but we do know that later, Martha showed great faith that Jesus could heal her brother. And she was one of the first to declare that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, I feel like Martha a lot of times, with school and homework and chores, it's really hard not to worry about things not getting done if I take a break.
Well, you're not alone. We can all lose track of what's really important.
So,
What's our part in the story?
Well, Martha was doing lots of good stuff for Jesus, but she missed spending time with him.
So, the best way to show love for Jesus is by spending time with him first.
Yeah, and there are lots of ways to do that. You can spend time with Jesus by reading scripture and talking with him about what you read.
Yeah, you can pray and talk with Jesus about anything that's on your heart.
You can even spend time with him by listening to worship music.
Or find a quiet place and ask Jesus to be there with you.
Where we spend our time shows what matters most to us. Spending time with Jesus is the most important thing.
And spending time is a great way to show others that they matter too.
Yeah, like when you get home from school, maybe take a couple of minutes to talk to your mom and dad about your day instead of going right into doing your homework.
Or when your little sister asks you to do sidewalk chalk, you can put down your game and hang out with her.
Maybe your parents want you to go visit your grandma at the retirement home. You might be tempted to grumble, but remember that when you take time to listen to her stories, you show how important she really is.
That's a lot to think about.
It sure is. See you next time.
We have something special for you all today. Check out our Xtreme Kidz trivia.
My books include Go Tell It on the Mountain and Notes of a Native Son. One of my novels, If Beale Street Could Talk, was adapted into the Academy Award-winning film. Who am I? James Baldwin. My first book, I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, in 1969, tells of my life up to age 17 years old. I have written 7 autobiographies, and my best noted poems are And Still I Rise and Phenomenal Woman. Who am I? Maya Angelou. Before sustainable farming was a thing, I promoted crop rotation, like planting peanuts after cotton. I'm perhaps best known for my work in plant research, and particularly with the peanut. Who am I? George Washington Carver. People call me the greatest. I was born in Louisville, Kentucky, and was named the Ring Magazine's Boxer of the Year, a record 6 times. I'm probably one of the most recognized sports figures of all time. Who am I? Muhammad Ali. Born in 1963, I grew up with music. My second cousin is Dionne Warwick, and my godmother is Aretha Franklin. I'm the only singer to chart 7 number 1s on the Billboard Hot 100 hits in a row. The Guinness Book of World Records labeled me the most awarded female artist of all time. Who am I? Whitney Houston. I was the most visible leader and spokesperson of the civil rights movement in the 1960s. I'm best known for my speech, I Have a Dream. Who am I? Martin Luther King Jr.
The Adventures of JJ and Chloe. Being Kind to Others by Chris Gillum. JJ and Chloe decided to go to a skate park after school. When they got there, they saw one boy being teased. One boy said to the other, "Haha, you can't skate," but made the other boy cry. Another kid said, "Nobody wants to play with you, loser." JJ and Chloe were appalled and stood there in shock. They didn't understand what was going on. So, they decided to cheer the young boy up. "Come on, come play with us. We would love for you to join us." JJ and Chloe had fun playing with the young boy. And when it was time to go, they hugged and dapped it out, and the young boy said, "Thank you for letting me join you." Remember to take time to show others they are important.
Wow, that was great. Now back to our Xtreme hosts. Martha was doing all that work for her guest? I mean, we all have chores to do after all.
But Jesus reminded Martha that she didn't need to get upset with her sister for spending time with him.
Think about it. Think about how Mary showed respect to Jesus. She put aside all distractions, and she took time to listen and pay attention to what Jesus said.
She showed how important Jesus is by spending time with him.
You and I may not have Jesus and his friends coming to our front door, but we can still follow Mary's example.
We can show respect to the people around us by giving our time and our attention.
Let's head to small group now and talk some more about showing others they are important. Or, if you're watching on YouTube, here's a discussion question for you. How has someone shown you you're important?